To say that Tom Benson had a profound influence on my career would be an understatement. I credit him with teaching me how to think like a rhetorician and showing me what that really could mean. And one story comes to mind in particular. I was taking his rhetorical criticism seminar, and this is my second year of being a Ph.D. student. And I thought I had some insights. I was going through writing my paper, had this massive lit review, and I walked into his office though, and I said, "Well, what am I going to say my method is?" And he just looked at me and said, "You're a rhetorical critic, aren't you?" And I said, "Not yet. I'm working on it." And he said, "You're a rhetorical critic. You're using your critical method." Now, up to that point, I had only been exposed to the cookie cutter method in particular texts that kind of espouse that. And at that moment, the heavens parted, the angels were singing, and they were singing the refrain from Ed Black's "Rhetorical criticism is what rhetorical critics do." And that was when I realized that I had been doing rhetorical criticism in such a terrible way up to that point, because I just didn't know any better. And that's when I realized that everything that I did in teaching rhetorical criticism was going to have to change. I had never taught it, of course, up to that point, but when I did, I completely ripped off Benson's syllabus and stole everything he did, added a few things, took away a couple of things, but for the most part, my rhetorical theory, my rhetorical criticism seminar is straight out of Benson. And I realized that my research could be much more interesting that way. And that was one of the things that drew me to his work, is that he was not afraid to push the envelope. And he was all over the place. He was doing presidential rhetoric, he was doing social movement rhetoric, he was doing new media technologies, and one of my favorites is still Another Shooting in Cowtown. And I always make my students read that and say, "Is this rhetorical criticism?" And they say, "Yes, it is, but it doesn't look like it." And I said, "He's probably one of the only people that can get away with that." And so as I think about the fact that he's actually leaving, it's kind of sad for me, for those that will not have that experience, because I know at this point now, 10 years later, even at the time I knew it, but now it's confirmed to me how blessed I was to have such an amazing mentor and person guiding me through this process. And it's sad that there will not be those people who will experience this from here on out. It was always kind of a rumor when I was there that maybe he would retire, but now it seems almost surreal that it's actually happening. But as I think about what he's taught me, I owe a great debt of gratitude to Tom Benson for making me the rhetorical critic that I am, and the kind of person that I have become, because I don't have to fit in the cookie cutter mold. And that's one of the things that I definitely have taken away